In war, everything is very simple, but the simplest thing is very difficult. And that turned out to be the case. I was sent to Quantico for a brief time to prepare to go to Vietnam as combat historian. Most of the other people who were chosen actually had backgrounds as radio disc jockeys, because the idea was that they had experience doing interviews, so they'd be good at doing these oral history interviews. I remember being impressed at one of the early meetings. There was a brief called, the title of the brief was "A Successful Cordon Operation." I think it was an Army battalion had surrounded a village and had successfully prevented the Viet Cong unit from leaving. I remember what struck me at the time is, well, what's so unusual about that? I mean, if you surrounded the village, of course you're going to win. Of course you're going to inflict casualties on the other side. But it turned out, as I learned a little later, that this was highly unusual. The Americans were very, very seldom successful at even pulling off one of these seemingly simple operations. No Vietnam story is wholly true or wholly false. And I think that's a good way to regard, to look at, to approach the many firsthand accounts that you can read. There's not a typical experience of GIs in Vietnam. There are many, many varying experiences.